Praxis Future Academy is located at number 9 to 11 Aloba Estate, Orogun, Ibadan. Orogun, Ibadan is along Oyo Road in Ibadan. That's where the Praxis Future Academy that runs purely British curriculum is located. The quiet and unassuming human being that is behind the whole scene, that is the founder and president of Praxis Future Academy, is very much close by to me. Is by name Mr. David Olasupo Olorunniwo. He makes the things tick. It is his idea to bring such a good idea from the diaspora to Nigeria, having lived in the United Kingdom for upward of 30 years. You're welcome, Mr. David Olasupo Olorunniwo, to First Nigeria TV Focus. May I first know what prompted you? Is it about your academic qualifications, your line of study, or what? What prompted you to have it at the back of your mind and start implementation on citing Praxis Future Academy in Nigeria? Everything that came on your mind that made you start the idea.
Thank you very much. Praxis Future Academy started actually a few years ago when myself and a number of professional colleagues in the UK started Praxis Future. Praxis Future was an organization that was supporting schools in Southeast London, in Kent, and other parts of the United Kingdom. And after doing that for a number of years, where we were offering mentoring, entrepreneurial education, and general guidance and counseling to pre-university teens and secondary school students in the UK, we felt that it's high time that we brought something like this home to Nigeria. And that was the point at which Praxis Future Academy was born. So we're in Nigeria, where we've actually established a full British curriculum school, which is geared towards raising children for the 21st century. Our curriculum is British-based, but our culture is one that is geared towards raising leaders. So a Praxis boy or a Praxis girl would not just be an A grade student, but will also be someone that would take a leadership position in society. That's the main focus, the driving force behind Praxis Future Academy. We want to raise change agents in society. We want to raise future 21st century leaders. And we have the tools in the school to enable them to do that. If I can talk a little bit about our facilities, every classroom is digitally wired. So pupils can take their lessons by online projection. The school has 24-hour power supply. We have 24-hour internet, which is provided by Starlink. This is to enable all our children in the school to be able to do their own research and to do project work and to be able to develop a culture of learning. As they say, a reader is a leader. And what goes into a mind comes out in a life. And so these are the foundational principles on which we are based. We want to raise young people who will show creativity, leadership, and are able to be problem solvers in society. This is the focus of the school. And of course, to do that, we need to create a foundation where the children are first-class candidates in any sphere that they want to go into. So we offer the full British curriculum. So you can imagine we're preparing our first set of candidates for the IGCSE midpoint exams, and the plan is that we go on from there as the school expands. We're only a year old, but in that 1 year, we believe that we're laying the necessary foundation in this very serene, very quiet environment for children to excel. And as far as I know, we are the first school in Nigeria that's offering politics and philosophy as a secondary school subject. And that's to make sure that our young people are not just very good in mathematics, physics, or anything like that, but they are also problem solvers. They understand how society works and their place in society and how they can bring change within their own sphere of influence. And so we're doing this in order to raise rounded, well-rounded candidates, pupils for the larger society. We're preparing them for the 21st century in a fully digital environment. All our classrooms are digitally wired. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Olorunniwo, especially for explaining your explanations based on the facilities available. How conversant or how related or how active have you been relative to educational bodies in Nigeria, especially in Oyo State, in the process of setting up Praxis, with a view to incorporating Praxis Future Academy into what obtains in the educational sector in Nigeria and by reduction in Oyo State?
So we are just coming up to our first year anniversary. But in that time, we've enjoyed the support of quite a number of organizations and parastatals. The Ministry of Education has been very helpful. The local government education office at Akinyele local government, where we're located, has also been very supportive. I should also mention that a number of international schools in Ibadan have also given us their support. So yeah, we're getting well grounded into the existing architecture educationally within the city.
There are rules, there are laws of engagement concerning education in Nigeria, maybe relative to what obtains in the United Kingdom, where you're from. Can you give us a brief idea of what you are bringing in here that's not already here, what you're bringing into the education sector here, back at home, what you are introducing from abroad that will further strengthen the basis of education in Nigeria?
Well, in terms of the curriculum, we are geared to provide a whole range of new concepts and ideas. For example, we're looking at starting a language laboratory in the school. We're looking at offering Mandarin, which is Chinese. Obviously, China is now the rising power in the world. And so if we're preparing children for the 21st century, then they need to be competent in that language. So we're looking at offering Mandarin. But more importantly, what we're bringing in is really a focus on a transformational mindset that we're offering to the children in the school. We're bringing in, and I'm sure maybe other schools are doing this as well. There's going to be music, extracurricular activities like swimming and the like. We're going to provide in the school.
Mr. Olasupo, you mentioned the Mandarin. I'm of the knowledge that you recently traveled to China. You just came back a short while ago from China. Was that part of reasons for traveling, to be able to collaborate with outside bodies over there?
Yes, thank you very much for that question. The answer is yes. We're looking at establishing contacts with educational foundations also in China, where particularly they can offer us language expertise. And in this regard, we're also looking at establishing contact with the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, where they have a very strong Chinese department, and they're doing some fantastic work there. So yes, we have connections in Asia and in Europe that we can bring, and we're looking at bringing those in into the life of the school. So, and because of the multimedia architecture that we have in the school, internet-based, many of our external lecturers are able to teach in the school through the use of Zoom and Teams platform for teaching the children specialized subjects where necessary.
I read in one of your scripts that you are involved also in some, I won't call it transfer of technology, that Praxis is already liaising with students from outside Nigeria, maybe neighboring West African countries and others, in a sort of a distance learning program. How is this supposed to be? How do you expect, why do you want this to be operative?
That's a very good question. Because of the foundation of Praxis Future, like I said, Praxis Future started in the United Kingdom before Praxis Future Academy. Because of that foundation, we have links with a number of educational establishments overseas. And we've been blessed in having some of them teach remotely. So we have people who are recent graduates teach subjects, interesting subjects like stem cell, this new science about stem cell and genomics and things like that, which are invitational lectures brought by young people from outside of Nigeria, but they're able to come into our school environment and interface with our pupils here because of the technology that we have in place, and they're able to teach and inspire our young people because they see people like them, people just slightly older than them, interacting with them, interfacing with them, and bringing new concepts and new knowledge into their experience. So that's an exciting thing for us.
Another thing I read referred to your person, your details as a science-based person, and linked you with the idea of bringing Praxis Future Academy to further upgrade the level of science teaching and the acceptance of science as career by students, which has actually dropped in Nigeria over the time, over so many years now. A lot of students now lazily go into arts, social sciences that don't require the use of laboratories and all that. I'm sure I was told that there are certain things Praxis is doing about this to further institute scientific teaching, in-depth scientific teaching. Can you just shed light on this?
Yes, apart from having people from outside of Nigeria who are exposed to leading edge development in the sciences. Like you said, I also have a science background, and that has some sort of impact in the life of the school. And we have a very good, very robust teaching staff here who are equipped to deliver the curriculum. Recently, we've just equipped our science laboratory. Even though under the British curriculum, lab work is deferred till the second half of the curriculum. But we want to put premium on people having hands-on experience fairly early to build their confidence when they're in that kind of environment. Our aim, and I always say this to all the teachers when I have the opportunity, our aim at Praxis Future Academy is that if a teacher is teaching any subject, here in Orogun in Ibadan, and a video of that class was shown to someone in New Zealand, Canada, or Britain, there should not be any difference in the delivery, the content, and the technology that is employed in teaching the children that particular subject. So we're looking at doing world standard education right here in Ibadan.
It's interesting. And I am aware, very much aware, that schools like this are quite a number in Lagos. It is a nice concept that you decided to locate this in Ibadan, because from my experience, a lot of parents resident in Lagos will prefer a serene environment like this that will encourage their children or wards to settle down to real education, away from digressions of the cities. How did you come about the idea of locating it here? What made you think that Ibadan? What made you see that Ibadan was a very good place for locating a school like this?
Well, Ibadan is known nationally in Nigeria as being the prime place for education. Many of our early intellectuals were here in Ibadan. Chino Achebe, Wole Soyinka, and people like that. Ibadan has the pride of having the first university in Nigeria. So it's a good location for educational pursuits. And we're not far from the University of Ibadan. So we are here on this campus here, which is quite serene, away from traffic. It's a calm place for children to engage in serious study that will lead to excellence. Our vision, our values in the school are virtue, culture, and excellence. So everything that we do in the school is there's this thread of virtue, culture, and excellence that's running through. And this is an environment that is geared towards bringing out the best in all of our pupils. I can talk a little bit about the name Praxis. Praxis actually means action that changes society. An action that changes society. That's from there we get words like practice, practical, and things like that. And so the name Praxis is intentional. We want to raise young people who would not just see themselves as someone that should just feed off society, but make a contribution to society. And we want to believe that we're giving them the skills, the tools, for them to be able to do that.
In one of your write-ups, I also saw an intention by Praxis Future Academy to later on incorporate trainings, teachings and all that for people living with disabilities. And I really, in fact, I got very interested. I saw that as a very good point in favor of Praxis, because right now in Nigeria, there are not the idea of helping out people who live with disabilities is just growing. I'm sure maybe you brought that from the United Kingdom. I know you are not ready for that yet. Now it's in the pipe. How do you want to incorporate that into the educational system at Praxis Future Academy?
Thank you. We're fortunate at Praxis that we have a campus here that's almost 2 acres. Which gives us opportunity for growth in the future. We're only using half of it. There's still another half of the school compound that's there for future development. Our plan is to develop a special needs education center as we go along. That's part of our development plan. We're not there yet, but that is something that is in the pipeline. And we trust that over the next 2-3 years, we'll be deploying into that area.
It occurred to me that I should speak a little bit more on the distance learning intention. It's very rare to Nigeria. It's a new thing. We've seen even very big international education colleges in Lagos that don't have this kind of facility that you're bringing in here, for starters. And some students came from Kenya or where recently? Yeah. From where?
Yeah. We're fortunate. We have international. The school is actually international, right from inception. So we have people from Mali, from Guinea, Senegal, and places like that, and Ghana. Actually, one of our teachers in the school teaches out of Nairobi in Kenya, and she used to teach French, and we're able to do that despite the time difference between Nigeria and Kenya, because we have the internet facility to do that, and the pupils love it. It's been an exciting experience for them. So very international in terms of the teaching staff, and in terms of distance learning, and also in terms of the location of the pupils. For example, I think a couple of our pupils had to take an early exit this term because of a family situation in Ivory Coast. And we were able to facilitate that without any loss in their engagement with teaching, because we were able to engage with them via the internet. Every child in the school has an email address, so teachers are able to upload work by email, and they're able to provide support remotely. So learning is going on, whether they're in Ivory Coast, and we're expecting them to come back in September. But the fact that they had to go because of a family situation should not stop their learning.
Well, that's a great one. I'll give you some space so that later on we can go ahead and focus on each of the facilities that are available in the school. I'm sure viewers will have a nice time seeing all these things.